Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution. Ayy, Bitcoin is the one, no substitution. Ayy, with Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What is up, guys? We are live, We are live every single day, guys. We're going live at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Central, and whatever that is on the Pacific side. But we appreciate everyone who is watching and listening. Guys, you remember we're on Apple, we're on Spotify, and all that stuff too. So after every live event, we're going to be posting that over there as well. So if you do miss the live, don't worry, you can listen to it over there, or you can watch the YouTube as well. We have a great show for you guys today. We're really going to go over topics. We're going to like figure out what we think is best. So just bear with us on these next couple episodes until we figure out what kind of platform, what kind of live we want to do every day. So should be fun, should be exciting. It's going to be new, and definitely put your questions in the chat. I think that is going to be very important. We want to interact. We want to make sure you guys get that live feel. And so yeah, let's get that show started. So without further ado, let me bring in my partner, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What is up? What is up? First live day. I'm excited, man.
Bro, we're going live every single day except the weekends.
Yep.
Is that crazy?
Yep. I mean that's been a part of the plan, so not too crazy. I think lives are the most fun that I have whenever we do our show. We get to interact with the community and field questions and stuff like that. And so I love that we're doing this. It's gonna be Monday through Friday, so you guys are gonna probably I don't think you get sick of us. That's impossible, but you're gonna get a lot of us, so expect that.
100%, dude. It's crazy how let's just look back in the last year and see how far we came. Like this was the part of the plan 6 months ago. You know what I mean? And it's finally coming true. It's finally coming big. We're both full-time Ordinal Revolution now. Like, how big is a milestone to get to this chapter 2, which I feel like we're at now?
It's really big. It's really hard to estimate like when that would happen before, right? Because a lot of this has to do with being consistent, persistent, but also, timing with the market too, right? Like, people have to have the energy to want to learn, to want to watch, and want to hear about the latest updates in Bitcoin ordinals and stuff. And I think that's like now, right? So I remember back in, I want to say maybe October, we would talk about like where we would be in February. And I think we both were like 5,000 subs. So, hey, we're almost double that, right? So yeah. I think just, being consistent is the key. Like, no matter what, every Saturday morning, like no matter how tired or, sick we're feeling, we always show up for our Saturday morning spaces with Twitter. That's a part of our community. Every Wednesday night, rarely we miss it on Wednesday. We do it on Thursday, but and then same thing with the weekend. We always do our updates, right? And so I think that's so important in terms of having success over here, and that's what we have done, right? So
yeah, 100%. And guys, we're still gonna do our Wednesday market update. That'll just there's some people who don't like lives and like videos, so we're gonna definitely kind of cater to everyone. So every Wednesday and every Sunday, you'll get your weekly update and your weekend update, and that'll be over there. But every single day, Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, you guys are going to get a daily dose of Shizzy and Yagobi Ordinal Revolution. So look forward to that. We hope you guys join us every single day, and it should be fun. But without let's try to get into what we got going on today.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's start off with Bitcoin's price. We always love to start there. I'm gonna get my screen up here. It's been going down. Let's just be real. That's what we've been seeing, right? But this is just something like if we were to see this 20% drop, kind of that price range of where we would end up, right? But yeah, so we were trucking right along. This is the hour chart for Bitcoin. We were trucking right along since the end of January. We got all the way to 73K. 73K. But I will say, the buy pressure from the ETFs, from what I'm seeing, it's still there. I follow Fred Krueger, which is his name. I don't know if that's his real name. I gotta ask him. Is that your real name or is that your stage name? Because that's ironic or like a coincidence if it is. But anyways, he's super knowledgeable. He's a TradFi guy from before, and he loves Bitcoin. And he's saying that the buy pressure is still there from the institution. So I think this is more of possibly some people that got in maybe close to the top last cycle, and they when it got to 73, 74, they're like, I gotta take profit, right? Like I have to take profit. And then possibly that would work very well for some of these market makers that are trying to grab some of this liquidation a little bit lower. And I think they did get quite a bit of longs, because the lowest it got to was 66, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, I might have hit 65.
Yeah. So, but nevertheless, this is 20%. I think is like fair if like the big like the bear case situation, right? For the March dip that we see typically before April in the halving years, right? You actually see more. You see about a 30 to 40% is what I've noticed. Well, at least last cycle, and you were right. There was the Black Swan event with COVID that kind of pushed into that. But again, like there was a lot of stimulus out during that time too that like was being pushed and talked about being pushed, and there was a lot of buying that happened, and it ended up happening obviously in late April, early May, but it dropped 46 to 48% that year, right, in 2020. The previous year cycle was 2016. I think it dropped probably a little bit more than 20%. So I think 20% is like the bear case, right? So if that's the case, then I think the low that we see before it really jumps up is this 58,000 mark, which I'm fine with. I think that's actually healthy because then, like you always say, whales don't buy tops, right? They want this dip. They're salivating at this dip. So if we do get this 20% drop, that's kind of where we would be kind of hovering right now, as at that, or not right now, hovering at that point would be that 58,000. You can see here on the stochastic RSI, we've been kind of, this looks exactly like how we've been seeing the price, right? Like since we were in overbought, it's been going down, and the price actually, correlated with that pretty closely. Tried to come up a little bit, but then it's been like really being held down. And once we get into the oversold territory, that's whenever I think like we'll be like, okay, I'm glad we're here because now we know that we've reached it. How long will we stay until we come back up? But I don't know. What's your thoughts on all this?
Yeah, I'm in the camp of I don't think we're gonna hit a 20% dip, but I do not think the 20% dip is bad. So I'm thinking we're gonna have a dip after halving, right? I think I think that's when you're gonna see the 20% dip. But if we get it now I'm thinking that could be the most bullish scenario. Let's just say today's the 18th. So let's just say we dip the next like 12 days with a few days of up, right? We get down to your number there. And what is your number exactly for the 30?
I mean,
Oh, we're not hitting.
it's right at 58,000.
58,000? Okay, 58,000. Yeah. So that's definitely possible. So let's just say we go up and down and kind of work our way to 58,000 by the 30th. And then we have 16 days into the halving after that point. That could be the most bullish thing that could ever happen. That means no dip after halving. That means we're going to rampage right through halving and just keep going for the next 6 to 8 months, right? So that would be, I honestly think, the best case scenario. Now I'm kind of hoping for your dip situation, because I'm in the camp of 700K, and I think we need a huge ramp up to get there in the next 500 days. So
yeah, I mean, so that would take us to like, let's see, this is the daily, which I think is better in terms of like, projecting out, because you could see if, I imagine if this is the case, I imagine probably somewhere around like 2 weeks getting there, something like that. And then towards the middle, right before halving, and then halving happens, and then you get into the end of April, which is when things get really bullish typically. I like this scenario. I actually hope for it because then that plays further into the super cycle. If like, let's say post halving, end of April, things pick back up, and then Bitcoin gets to like, let's say Bitcoin gets to like 85K by like mid to late May. I think that's like the healthiest price point for the super cycle, because then
Yeah.
at that point you can trickle from 85 to 100K over the summer. Actually, probably you'd want it to get to 100K maybe in late fall. You know what I mean? And so like you'd be going back and like between like 80 to like 100K, 20,000 range for several months. And then like 2025 happens, whoever becomes president, that could like ignite the super cycle. But if this doesn't go down 20%, if it stays here and then it jumps right back up next week, then it's trending towards that left translated cycle, which means
Yeah.
that we probably have another 8 to 9 months of like bullishness and until things start to turn again.
Yeah. And I think could be true, but I still think that we have a rampage of a super cycle. And any dip right now is probably really healthy. You got to remember we were just at, I think, January, like mid-January, which was 45 days ago at this point, right? It wasn't that long ago at all. We were sitting around $40,000. So we're up, potentially 40% since that point. A nice dip down to that 58 number is probably the healthiest thing. You're gonna see a lot of whales come in. But what's the point that the whales the whales say, I don't want to miss this anymore? I was sitting on the sideline too long. Is that 60K? Is that 58K? Or is that like 65K? Or is that like today? It really depends on when the big money and the smart money, because just like I always say, and you just said it earlier, they do not buy highs, they buy dips, and they could come in right now and buy this dip up, and tomorrow we're back at 75,000, or we're up the high. I think it's 73,000. So we'll see. Only time will tell. Very, very bullish on this, and I don't think we are bullish enough for what's about to happen in the next 500 days. So
Yeah. Well, and another thing too is I think that like there's definitely whales that are experienced that would scoop up a dip to 58K for sure that have
yeah,
been here. But a lot of those are already in because they know how cycles work. They know that like if I'm talking to somebody right now, because I saw a couple of videos on TikTok, and I was just like, wow. There's a guy that was saying, I sold all my Bitcoin. He's not a Bitcoin pro. He's been in it for a while, but like once BlackRock and Fidelity got in, that like pushed him out, and he's like, it's gonna drop massively, and it's gonna go down like huge and all this stuff. And in my mind, I was like, he doesn't know how cycles work. Yes, institutions are here, but that doesn't it's not the only change that's going to happen, in my opinion. I think this is the last cycle that regular everyday people have a chance to like have generational wealth, not
yeah,
financial, but you know what I mean? Because after this cycle, what happens is they control the price action for the most part, just like what happened to gold, right? There's still going to be increases, but like you said before in different episodes, that it's going to be like incremental and kind of minimal, right? For the most part,
yeah,
they'll depending on the overall economic state and stuff from a macro level. But yeah, so right now where we are, like when you're at 69 and 70, people are like, this is the top. And I'm like, no, this was last cycle's top. This was last cycle's 4 years ago's top. So you're
yeah,
looking at this cycle, in theory, this cycle's bottom actually. You know what I mean? Is what, like, if you're looking from a 4 cycle like perspective, I mean, do you agree with that?
yeah. I 100% agree with that. I truly believe that the bull run doesn't start until two things happen: the halving, and we pass the previous all time high. So I think you need that the halving, and then you need to have smash it all time high. We, for the first time ever in history, hit the all time high before halving. So we might be having some growing pains. We might have just the right word for it. We might have just went too hard too quickly, and we need this pullback so everything kind of seems correctly. But I think, dude, I think you're 100% right. I think we need to smash through the all time high to really really get people being like, okay, bull run is here. And once people say bull run is here, there's no more dollars on the sideline. They are all in, and they're all in on major risky things. Like to TradFi, Bitcoin is risky. To me
Yeah.
and you, it's the safest thing in our portfolio.
That's so funny. So funny. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. But I think that people don't realize that this is the bottom of this cycle. And if it's not, and it's changed that much, then this wasn't a bull run. You know what I mean? Like it just wasn't a bull. It wasn't a bull run if this was the top. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? If this
Well,
was the top, because it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you can look at it like, okay, it was a bull run for us, and it was a bull run for all the people that were like so sad that like
Yeah.
they had to walk slowly through the bear run and all this stuff. But like from a technical standpoint, it wasn't a bull run. It was like you have only reached like barely small percentage over the previous cycle's top, and that's not a bull run, man. Like no
Yeah.
matter what anybody says, right? So
To your point, though, TradFi, who have experience in TradFi, they look at this, but this was the greatest bull run that ever happened from 15 to 60. We're looking at that like, no, no, you're not bullish enough. Like you have never really experienced, and a lot of them haven't. They've never really experienced what it's like to be in Bitcoin when it just rips God candles every day for like 2 weeks. They have never experienced anything like that in their entire lives. So for them to be able to look at Bitcoin and say that's going to happen, it's not going to. They can't fathom it. They can't. It's just not something that happens until they see it. And I think
yeah,
they're finally going to see it this bull run, and then next time around they're going to understand. Oh wow, guys, I mean, you got to remember too, the S&P 500 in 2001. It did what Bitcoin just did, right? It doubled and went a little bit more. And that was huge to them. That was the biggest thing that's ever happened in their lifetime. They've never seen something that could 4, 5, 6x that quickly and just keep moving forward. And they're about to
yeah.
experience it.
No, yeah. I mean, you're 100% right. They haven't experienced it, but what they have experienced is cycles in the stock market and
Yeah.
with gold. I mean, if you look at every cycle of gold, like the next like cycle, like it's valued higher. Like the floor and then the tops are higher, except for 1 year. It was 2013. That was a weird thing to where it dipped before prior to the year before. But like every other year for gold has looked. I mean, every other cycle year or whatever, it's looked better and better. And I think that's what is going to happen with Bitcoin. That's just how it works, man. Like no one waited 4 years for Bitcoin to get to 70 $4,000 and that's it. You know what I'm saying?
No.
If that's the case, then I'm sorry. Like Bitcoin is dead and crypto's dead. If that's the case,
Well,
you know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah. But that's why we have ordinals, right? And that's why ordinals are the next big thing, because not only is Bitcoin eventually going to get very stable, ordinals are going to have their time in the shine of being that new that new safest thing in our portfolio. And I
Mhm.
truly believe that, because when Bitcoin gets stable, ordinals are going to become very bullish. And I think that's why we're here and you guys are watching. And that's why our show is called Ordinal Revolution, because we truly believe eventually, maybe not this cycle, not next cycle, but cycle after that, Bitcoin gets very stable. And the best you see is 7% gain, 20% gain. That's it. Because, I mean, you got to remember how much money that's going to be when Bitcoin is over $1 million. We're talking $200,000 move. It's not going to happen very quickly. It's going to take time. So I
Yeah.
truly believe that, like, in the future, 20% moves are going to be the new bull run. But here in ordinals, the thing that Bitcoin's really covering, and it's going to eliminate a lot of other chains, and a lot more people are going to be in ordinals. That's why you guys have potential life-changing gains right now being in ordinals, because everything is going to start here, because we're the closest thing to the rock, which is Bitcoin.
Yes, sir. Yes. I mean, we are the closest thing to the rock. That is 100% sure. All right. So Bitcoin, it is what it is
Yeah.
right now. We'll kind of keep track with it every day and see where it's heading. If it does head towards that 20% drop, or if it only does like a 5% drop like it has, and then it ticks back up.
Yeah.
But
I want to give before we get to something else, let's kind of jump through his comments, get kind of feel.
little
Oh
roll
wow,
call.
you put it in there. You put it in there.
Little roll call.
All right. So the first is first in Bitcoin. First is always first. I'm always going to shout out the first person here, and it's I walk alone. He's a member. Congratulations, buddy. You are first, and first means everything. And then we'll go the next guy. Brian Laundry, welcome to your first live, sir. Appreciate you, buddy. But you're not first. If you're not first, you're last. So you have to join the rest of everyone. No, I'm just playing. But the next we got, and we got you got to help me with this one.
Pratik Gupta.
Welcome to the show, Pratik.
Yeah, Gupta.
And then she said NatCat holders might be getting block drops. We'll have to dig into that. Yeah.
Yep.
We got the Green Man in the building. We got Psycho Trading. We got TK0401. We got Walk Alone again. DJ Blackwell. My man Tim
AOD
Art. one of our
Shout
closest
out.
friends. We love it. Oh, hold on. Game breaking. We just got 100 hours in MX. Only
Let's
love you.
go.
Thank you,
Ernesto.
remember Ernesto?
Yeah.
He used to be in September. He's
Mr.
go, Mr.
Yagobi.
Yagobi.
Love that guy.
Shout out
Appreciate you, sir.
Ernesto. You want to read that?
Yes, only love for you. Boxes, inscriptions, runes, runestone, Merlin chain, hoo, Voya. I'm freaking bullish. I love you too. We love you too, Ernesto. We appreciate you, sir. Mr. Yago B.
That's funny how that happened. How we
Yeah.
say it every episode.
It didn't even
once.
we didn't even think about that. That was like completely impromptu.
That's the best. But yeah, shout out AOD. This guy, he's one of our closest friends in here. He's a great guy. Shout out to him. And then we got John the Collector. John, man,
John the
appreciate everything
Collector.
you. Yeah, John's a collector, bro.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Appreciate him.
We got Trey it, right? Was that right?
Trey it. Yeah, Trey it.
So to answer your question here, and I know we're trying to save this for later, but if it hit 1 Bitcoin, that's 111,000 Bitcoin. That's like $4 billion.
I can find out exactly how much that is. How much is it? 112,000
yeah,
112,000 Bitcoin it would be.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so you're looking at value would be 7,511,168,000. Yeah.
I mean, possible. And I don't know. And then shout out I Walk Alone. Smash the like, subscribe. You won't regret it. Appreciate you, buddy. And then we got Danny Boy. Danny Boy was one of our first members. Appreciate Danny Boy. And I always can't read. I need ChatGPT to help me out to read.
And Tetna. And Etna. You just Etna.
We're doing this for you.
We know him. He's in the Twitter community too. Big.
We got Sane in the building.
Sane.
We got Stick BR. We got 007. Steamy J. David. Cherry Master. And we'll get to some more later. Oh, hold on.
Yeah, sure.
My boy J25.
Hanging out with the live.
J25 is going to be joining us on some episodes, guys. We want to do this every single day. So there's going to be some episodes like tomorrow. Tomorrow we have IMSO Chris on. He's going to be standing in for us, standing in for Yagobi. And it would just be me and IMSO. It should be a good one. But there's going to be episodes where I'm not here and Yagobi's handling it. There's going to be episodes where I'm here handling it. But we want to give you guys every single live, no matter what. And J25 is one of the guys who will be filling in for us when we need it. Shout out J25. And yes, we'll get to the other ones. Varying. Yeah, but all right, we'll get on with the show.
Yeah, we got a lot of OGs in here. Ordinal Revolution OGs, that's for sure.
For sure. And we got 200 people watching. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to the 200 people watching and spending your lunch hour or pre-lunch hour with us. All right. So the next topic I want to jump to is this topic here. The quantum cats can evolve. We kind of knew that, right? Some cats just receive a Taproot Wizard's Golden Cape. That means it will be redeemable for a Taproot Wizard when they get distributed in the future. So I don't know how I feel about this, man, because who determines who gets what? Obviously it's the gold cape that I'm going to pull it up here. You can see the quantum cat that got sniped for 0.49 Bitcoin plus $180 miner fees earlier today, just sold for 1.9 Bitcoin. So this, I guess, is golden cape right here. Yeah. Determined that they will get a Taproot Wizard, but who, what, why, when, where, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how I feel about that because honestly, I got a quantum cat. I ain't got no golden cape. How come I can't get no wizard?
Well, it's in the code. So if you go to Ordinal.io and put your cat in there, you're gonna see very inscripted code. So everything is already every single one is already out. No one knows besides Udi and Eric and that team which ones
you got to work for it. You got to work.
You really do. You have to just hold, right? Because you never know. Yours can have something amazing in 9 months, and then you're like, holy crap! I had this the entire time. You don't know. I love this. I think this changes the game. You can only really do this type of stuff in ordinals because it's ordinals, right? So it's on Bitcoin. Yes, I'm very bullish on this. I love it. I have 2 quantum cats. I'm hoping one of mine get like dragon wings or some crazy crap later. That'd be awesome. Cat
Yeah,
dragon.
yeah. So I'm gonna have to start doing some code or some code diving and
It's
you
encrypted.
know,
You won't even be able to. It's encrypted code. So
what
it's
do you mean? Well,
like
isn't it
it
HTML?
yeah, but if you go to it, you'll see. I was told that it's only readable
There's So
by the
there's no
team.
way to basically what you're saying. There's no way for you to dive into the code and figure out if your cat's going to get one.
I don't think so.
So then you can't even do the hard work because
You
then if
can't. There
that's the
is no hard
case,
work
yeah,
to be done. You just got to get lucky.
interesting. 537 6 8 6 8 9. I'm trying to see if I'm a winner, man. If I got the winning lotto numbers here. Nope,
Yeah,
I
man.
didn't win.
It's all right, buddy.
No,
I
no,
didn't
no. It's
win
all good
either.
though. Like but the crazy thing is that like this guy's cat literally jumped up in value like tremendously, right?
Yep.
So you're talking about like I think it was selling for like 0.49 or something before, or it sold for that amount, and then it just sold for 1.9 Bitcoin. Man, that's a big jump up. Yeah. So I hope they have other stuff. This is actually, I hope they have other surprises, right? Not
We do.
just, the golden cape and if you get a taproot wizard, but like something else, because that is surprising, right? Because like you're just like, oh wow, I didn't expect this at all. Now my cat's worth like 2 Bitcoin, you
Yeah.
know?
I think every cat has something built into them where they change drastically. I
Mhm.
think in a year from now, no cat is going to look the same. And I think some of them are going to be heavily valued once Udi says it's over. And who knows, dude? Who knows what they could look like? In let's just say 10 years. Maybe they keep changing. You just don't know. It's pretty awesome, and I think that's why I think quantum cats are the top are going to be one of the top collections, and I'm just excited for the future of what the value they're going to bring to its holders. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, man. This is the type of creativity that people that are thinking about launching projects and ordinals need to pay close attention to, right? Because anybody can launch a collection that's just a collection, right? And it's cool that it's on Bitcoin, sure. But when you add like a creative twist to it, when you surprise your holders with this, like it feels so much better. So kudos to Udi, Eric, the team. Rangel, I think his name is.
yeah,
Anyways, all those guys because they definitely did a good job with this. I'll say that.
could you imagine dumping your cat and then finding out later that it was like the rarest one in the collection?
Oh my gosh, I would be like super frustrated. But like, what can you do, man? What can you do? It's almost kind of like if you sell early,
Yeah,
which you do a ton. No, it's good, but like
I
it works
do.
for you.
That's what I do.
Yeah, it works
Yeah,
for you.
I'm a
But and
recycler.
then yeah, and then later on, jumps up in price. But like, you can't really. That's like a kind of a skill set you just learn in crypto in general. Is that
Yeah,
you can't look back, right? Once you've sold your asset, you can learn,
yeah,
things, but you can't like regret. I feel like, and that's
yeah.
the biggest thing. So
And that's the thing. Like I do sell early, but I sell early on stuff that I don't truly believe in. I get in a lot of projects because I think they're going to make me a lot of money, right? But I don't truly believe that they have that long lasting feel. And something like Node Monkeys, like I have one Node Monkey left. I don't even think I don't care if it goes to like $100,000 or whatever. Doesn't matter to me. I'm not selling it. Convicted that is the number one in the collection. Quantum Cats, I have two, and I have two for the reason of potentially selling one when it gets to a certain value at the point, and then keeping the one with the Node Monkey, and then just having that as my moon bags, potentially into the bear market, into the next cycle. Don't care. Very happy with holding them long term. And then I have other stuff which I'm just holding for now. Like I'm holding like Voya, and so I can get the Merle and kind of get into the ecosystem where I can start staking stuff and having stuff like that. Like that's to me, I want to have things with teams. I want to have things with conviction and staking and all that stuff. So that is why I personally cannot hold things like runestones and stuff like that because they're just memes and stuff like that. So that's why
runestones, you
well,
can't
same
hold
thing. It's just
runestones.
I mean I had a bunch and now I'm down to two, right? Because
Yeah,
I couldn't pass on. I mean that was like a
paper
crap ton
hands.
of
No,
money, bro. I wouldn't call paper hands
no.
when you pull 20K, bro. Okay, you can call me paper. I'll paper hand anything for 20K. I don't get. You got to remember 'cause in ordinals and in stuff we have weird things with money here. Like 20K can buy you an
A
amazing amount
car.
of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A
A
car,
used
it could
car.
buy you could
Yeah.
renovate your entire house with 20K.
That's
Like a
true.
good
That is
portion of
true.
it. Like so
Yeah.
what you can't call someone paper hands for paper handing $20,000.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
no, no.
so
I mean, like, yeah, and I let some go too, just because you have me personally, I feel like I have to make sure, I get a fair
yeah.
value to where I think it's fair for at least some of them. Right. So I'm in that boat too. I didn't go as hard as you did with them, but like we'll
Yeah.
see what happens right with that. But yeah, Quantum Cats, shout out to you guys. Great job.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead
100%.
and oh, guys, also put your questions in the chat because we're gonna do a little TA session at the end. Not TA, QA.
Yeah.
See, I was like, no, I'm not doing TA. That's for Chris tomorrow.
Yeah.
QA session at the end. So any questions that you guys have, we'll answer them at the end of the show. The last
More
like 20 minutes,
topics
30 minutes.
that you want
Yeah,
to get into. That's fine too.
exactly.
So yeah, so at the end we're gonna do the Ordinal Hour, and then at the Ordinal After Hour will be all about you guys, all about the community. You guys can just ask us anything, personal portfolio questions, anything. That'll be in the we're gonna choose if we want to answer them or not, but that'll be in the After
I was like,
Hour every single
personal.
day.
Uh,
We'll even take some dating advice. If you guys want to throw that in there, so.
all right.
uh,
So next topic we're going to get into is the Merlin seal has officially been
Hey, that's the
stoned.
wrong stone. That's the wrong stone.
Oh, stoned. Yeah.
It's those
So,
stones.
yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, so Merlin Steel has officially been stoned, and they came out and they announced that.
yeah.
Well, first I want to get into this. I want to show this part. It's about it. It's related to it, and this will tie into the question about can the runestones get to 1 Bitcoin? But you can see right here, bitmap.tech. Or Bitmap Tech, which is Jeff's account. He's the founder of Merlin Chain. He said, glad that Merlin and I had the chance to support Runestone. Merlin will 100% provide bridge, DEX, indexer, minting service, and more incentives for Runestone and Rune's protocol. Stay tuned. So they're really just getting ahead of everything. I feel like this is perfect, for them to make this decision. But they were one of the, you can see here, one of the contributors for, this whole thing to happen, man. Like without like these contributors here, shout out to all these guys, right? And this couldn't have happened, right? So they were a part of it again, just showing the support for Bitcoin ecosystem, layer 1 assets. And then you can see here new assets supported in Merlin Seal, including Ordinal's BRC 420, Runestone. All airdrops to Runestone will be released to users. So I guess there might be like, maybe he's talking about the Runes token. So it says Merlin will support Runes indexer, bridging, staking. We were talking about that, and DEX day 1 once Runes protocol is live. And you can see it's added into the staking seal right there. And so I don't know. This is pretty big news. I feel like this is definitely a big announcement. How do you feel?
Yeah, I think this is huge. I just said that I have 2 Runestones left, and I'm going to be shoving them into there. They're my long-term holds. That's my moon bags. I'm going to put them in the Merlin Seal. Going to be earning the Merle token. Going to be earning, all that stuff with that. And I think if you have one of these assets and you're planning to hold it long-term, and you believe in Merlin the way I do, it's stupid for you not to just put them in there because every day you're earning Merle tokens, right? So
Yeah.
I'm very excited. I'm very excited for this. I don't hold anything else besides the runestones that are in that thing today, but I'm very, very bullish on putting my assets in there. And I think that it's really smart too of Jeff, because now there's 112,000 runestones, right, with like 90,000 holders. There's basically 90,000 users potentially could be in Merlin already or coming to Merlin. He's trying to get every one of those wallets to link up because that shows massive usage on the platform. And that's one of the questions that I ask when I'm like talking to teams about like potentially investing and stuff like that in their token and stuff like that is what is your use case, right? Like not use case, but like what is your daily users? And I think Jeff's trying to get that up, and it's really smart to do that with the runestones on his platform.
Yeah, and another thing too is that like no other sidechain is doing this like with integrating these Bitcoin layer 1 assets, right? And it's just the smartest thing to do, in my opinion, because not only do people already know you as like a Bitcoin, like supporting Bitcoin sidechain, even though it uses EVM technology. It's like every time they add something new that's hot in Bitcoin layer 1, the narrative, it's added to the seal. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I think that just gives more and more like credit to the Merlin chain, and I'm excited to once like all these assets are like all this seal is like once it opens, it's like a huge like dam, right? It's like the Hoover Dam. It's like
Oh my
imagine
God.
the Hoover Dam just like exploding, and so I mean that's what we hope, right? So.
It's going to be stressful for me to sit there and know what to do because I'm somebody who likes to plan out everything. But it's going to be like, let's just say he announces like Monday is the opening for M tokens, and it's just me. This is just a scenario playing in my head. I'm going to stress out all the way up until that point. Like I'm gonna be like, what am I gonna do if this happens? What I do? What if this? Like I like being prepared and to a fault of being like, okay, if this happens, what I do? If this happens, what I do? I'm gonna go crazy, bro. Not gonna sleep for days. It's gonna be very bad.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you remember, but like, last cycle, the EVM chains that had success in terms of like staking mechanisms and stuff, there was like literal like cheat sheets. Do you remember that?
Yes.
People would put out cheat sheets and they'd be like, all right, you go to this protocol, you stake this, and then you take that your APY from that, and then you roll it over to this protocol. You do that. I guarantee
Yeah.
there's going to be like cheat sheets out. But for me and you that have been over here, like we don't need a cheat sheet. I don't think. I would hope.
Yeah.
It'd be more about like for me, in my mind, I'm thinking about who has been first of all who launched on Bitcoin first, right?
Yeah.
And then like is building a protocol on Merlin. Those to me are priority for my mind, right? Like if you're in that circle, that's going to be like the golden circle. And there's like
Yeah.
you can see like these partnerships already, like they're shaking hands digitally, right, on
Yep.
Twitter and X, and like you notice it if you're paying attention. If you're paying attention like you should be, you'll
Yep.
be noticing. Like I'm talking about the Unicrosses, the Merlin starters. None of this is financial advice. I'm just talking about what I see. The minerals, and even possibly the chips. I'm talking about like these type of dApps that will be live on Merlin are going to be the integral like infrastructure dApps.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think I'm off by that?
No, I think you're 100% right. I think Mr. J and Unicross is the example that you're trying to give right there, which is he was community first. He was building a community. He had a good relationship with Jeff, and now he has a project called Unicross, which I'm very bullish on, and on Merlin. So he is the definition of the people that you just said are bullish on, right?
Yeah. And for y'all that don't know what Unicross is, this is another example, right? Like
Yeah.
it's a application that's being built on Merlin chain that allows you to launch Bitcoin native assets, right? Layer 1 assets from Merlin. So, I mean, there's just so much of this kind of stuff that just gets me bullish. And the relationships is, like I said, it's the golden circle. I feel like that the people
Yeah.
that were building on Bitcoin first, or they have extensive experience of building stuff on Bitcoin, so that's where my
Yeah.
mind will be.
And speaking of that, it's probably good. We can jump right into that. Did we have that on the banner, the Unicross, or no?
I don't
No.
think
But
so, but we can. Yeah.
what Unicross? That's it. Unicross got put in the Merlin seal today too. I think you mentioned that, right?
Oh, okay, yeah. So it kind of falls into
Yeah.
this topic right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Unicross. Let me actually reshare my screen so you can see here that the assets
Yeah.
are Natcats.
Yep.
Congratulations to the Natcat community, guys. Someone wanted us to talk about Natcats. Here you go. Here's your mention. Natcats got added to the Merlin Seal of Runestone. Of course, we already hit on that. Unicross Genesis. So this was, man, this Unicross token asset, Ordinal, man, it like has performed very well. I mean, it got to 0.14, and I think like initially it was like 0.008, jumped up like tremendously quick, so and for good reason. Like I said, this is going to be your application to be able to launch stuff natively on Bitcoin from Merlin. Then you have Bitmap Town DLC, which this is an OG project that was on BRC 420 very early. Ord's Games Arcade, these are OGs in the Bitcoin space. They launched the BRC 20 back in the spring of 2023. And then you have Chip Game, which also is an OG of BRC 420, and then IQ 50 Club. I'm not sure about them, but the one thing that's in common here: Natcats, Block Runner, right? And in that community, Runestone, Leonidas, and Ordfluencer, the OG, Unicross, Mr. J, that team, Bitmap DLC, just been around forever. BRC 420, Ord's Games, OG, BRC 20, Chip Game, OG, BRC 420. IQ Club is the only one I really don't have a ton of information on, but I know they've been on the 420 platform for a while. But guys, this is stage 3. Stage 3 of these, and everybody's still like OG builders on native layer. So I don't know if I can emphasize that enough. I feel like I've already like hammered that in.
So we're very bullish on everything that's entering the seal, if you guys haven't realized by now. So
yeah. Yep. All right. Okay. So we got that, and then let's jump over to man. Okay, so this is gonna be a brief one, but Shizzy loves this acronym all of a sudden. Like, he's saying it left and right. I'm like, what's TGE, bro? He's like, hey, did you hear about that TGE?
I got you. If you don't know, I'll explain it to you.
Yeah, go ahead and explain it to the audience.
Is my absolute favorite 3 letters that has ever existed. So what these 3 letters mean to me is that you were early, that you are here, and that you potentially are going to get an airdrop, right? And why you get an airdrop is because these teams, when they do this token generation event, will normally want as many wallet holders as possible. So how do you do that? You just give it to the people who are in your community, that are using your testnet, that are just a part of your everyday lives, because you want, just like us, we want everyone in our community and everyone in our lives to succeed, and they want the same thing. So token generation event. If you hear those 3 letters from any team, get excited, because 1, you're probably in the know, so you're probably going to get the airdrop. 2, potentially millions and millions of dollars are about to be created, right, and into the ecosystem that you're probably playing in. And 3, like, a lot of the times that this is really the ramping event for the opening of their product. This isn't the case with Merlin Swap, but it'll probably be the case with Mineral and Bitmap Wars and stuff like that. So TGE means their token has officially been created. Token generation event. My 3 favorite letters that I've ever heard in my entire life.
So. Yeah, man, this is like very similar vibes. Obviously, what we're going through right now to the Ethereum IDO season back in, like, was that 2017, like 2017, 18, 19, all those years before DeFi happened. But except for we've experienced a lot of the bumps and bruises through Ethereum and stuff. So a lot of the tech is already kind of there, or like the skilled developers are already there. So we can skip a lot of these like IDO scams. Obviously, you're going to deal with some of that probably here too. But just because the tech is advanced now. But yeah, we can transition right into this. Merlin Swap TGE token generation event is coming. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen here. First, you can find it on their Twitter. It's pinned. If you go to Merlin Swap, at Merlin Swap, go ahead and follow those guys. Big news: Merlin Swap token generation event TGE is coming. To learn more about Merlin Swap and the token distribution, read the detailed overview here, and there's a link for it, and it takes you here to this article, which I'm not going to read all parts of it. It just kind of really gets into the token details, is really what I want to cover here. You can see the name of the token is Merlin Swap token. The ticker is MP. So one thing that me and Shizzy have been talking about is this going to be a BRC20 token? Right off the bat, it doesn't seem like it because it's only 2 tickers, but there's some stuff happening with BRC20. So maybe, in terms of tickers and stuff like that, but we'll have to find more information. There's nothing definitive yet on that. chain, obviously Merlin. The token supply is 21 billion, guys. Now, this is the part that I think that everybody's interested in. What's the distribution going to be for this token? Well, public sale is 6%. Okay, so that's going to be to the public, right? So I'm assuming that they're going to use a launch pad, possibly like Merlin Starter, because I think they did announce like a partnership with them. Maybe they have their own launch pad. We'll find out. Airdrop is going to be 20% of user activity, I believe, is going to be airdropped. Trading rewards, 24% is going to be given to that. Merlin Swap Treasury and LP, 33%. So the Merlin Swap actual treasury is going to hold part of this 33%. And liquidity pool to get the token going is going to have part of this 33%. Then you have Genesis Liquidity Treasury, 9% goes to that. Merlin Swap Team is going to hold 6%. And then you have marketing for 2% to, get the word out there, which, that's happening a lot right now for this. So that's pretty much the tokenomics breakdown. I think that looks pretty good. Let's kind of get into the nitty gritty of stuff that you guys are probably interested about, that pie chart. Airdrop 20%. Okay, so the community has been allocated 20% of the token supply. Merlin Swap wouldn't be possible without a thriving community of supporters. 2% of this allocation will be unlocked at TGE, token generation event, and will be distributed during the initial phase of the TGE, including the TGE related airdrop and related activities. The airdrop will be distributed in the form of ESMP tokens. Okay, so that could definitely fall into BRC because 4 tickers there. Rather than MP tokens directly, the ESMP tokens could be credited back to your wallet immediately. For those looking to convert their ESMP into MP tokens, a vesting option is available. By vesting your ESMP, there will be linearly converted to MP tokens over a 30-day period at a 1-to-1 ratio. For the airdrop details, please refer to link, which is this link here, and it just kind of gets into the ESMP. So I was wrong that I don't think that is BRC20 at all. It's just kind of like the kind of caveat tokens that you'll have with a caveat that you probably can't trade to like
It's
Bitcoin
kind of like escrow, right?
Yeah, like you probably can't trade to like USD or anything like that until a certain period. I don't know what the exact details of that's going to be, but they say that you can exchange it in for the actual MP token for a certain amount of time that you're going to be locked up, I believe. So that's the details on that. But that's cool. They're doing an airdrop, right, for users. Obviously it's probably going to be based on like how many times you've swapped. And I would hope it'd be kind of a low barrier, just because like there isn't a ton of, you could trade Hoo like throughout the day or swing trade it throughout the week, and Voya too. Those you could do both of those, but I don't know how many people are doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you remember back when we first started talking about like Merlin Swap and stuff like that, I told everyone there was a kid, 17 years old, who used Jupiter. He would wake up every morning and he would just make 10 trades and then be done with it, and like for pennies, right? And he ended up getting over $1 million. He was doing it for over a year and a half, but he ended up doing it and he got $1 million, and his volume was super low. Like obviously when you trade that much, even pennies, it's going to add up, right? But his volume was under $100,000. And if you make, I don't know, 10 trades a day, 365, if you make 500 trades and your volume is under 100K, you're not doing much, right? If I make 500 trades, my volume is going to be closer to like $1 million, because of the like $1,000 here, $1,000 here. You know what I mean? Like every trade is like, you make 4 trades, that's potentially $4 or $5 grand. That's one day,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and it depends.
You're right.
So
you're right, but were the rules out for Jupiter before he just assumed?
No. Well, it's one or the other, right? You can either play with large volume, and he knew that he couldn't play that game, so he was going to play the other game. So he got lucky. He might have been able to read the algorithm. I don't know. He's a 17-year-old kid, but he got $1 million, and that potentially could be something that has happened over here on Merlin as well. He might, like someone like him, might have seen that opportunity, and you just don't know. So it's worth the try. If you're a broke kid, you're just trying to like farm for airdrops. Well, not anymore. But
Well,
before
before
that, he
too, dude,
said
he said
his
like
trades were a few bucks,
yeah, but
dollar
what
for
like
dollar.
oh, okay, back and forth, back and forth. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So
like if you do that 100
how many
times,
total wallets did he have though?
he said he had one
Oh, he did that with one wallet.
one
Okay.
wallet.
I thought he
Yeah.
had multiple
He
wallets.
might have
Okay.
had multiple and just not he didn't want to be a greedy and you know what I mean? Like he's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
going to
yeah.
tell everyone. But that's what I mean. It really just depends on so it depends on what team wants to do. And that could be, volume, it could be how many trades you did, or it could be, a combination of both. Right. So
Yeah.
for me, I'm hoping it's volume because I've used I don't think I've made that many trades, but I've traded, potentially, my like Hoo made me a crap ton of money. So it was like one of those things where I put in $5,000 and I took out a lot, right? So I'm hoping
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's volume. So
Yeah, yeah. I'm hoping it's volume too. 'Cause I'm like I was just thinking, I was like, but either way, shout out to that kid, man. Like,
yeah.
17 years old, probably like his dad's probably proud of him, being
Oh, for
able to
sure.
cash in that $1 million. Like, how'd you do this? Oh, I traded $2 back and forth for like
Yeah.
a million
For a year and a
times.
half.
Yeah. A
But
year and a
just
half. It's
I
crazy.
mean, yeah, no, but it all end up being
It
worth it. And
worked.
there's probably somebody just like him doing that on Merlin. You know what I mean? Maybe, so I'm hoping there is. I'm hoping there was somebody early to Ordinals who was just like, oh wow, this is going to be big. And you only had to do it for a month and a half, right? Because Merlin Swap's only been out for I want to say mid-January,
Yeah. Yeah.
so if not early
Yeah.
February.
Dude, you just created a bunch of like $10 traders, $5 to $10 traders that are gonna
Dude,
be like, "Doo, doo, 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 doo."
you have nothing to lose but your time. And if you're
What's
already
if you're 17, that doesn't matter. Oh, it kind of yeah, it actually does. I feel like time is just the most valuable
Well, you
asset,
can do it on
man.
your
Like
phone.
no
You can
matter
do
what.
it while you're taking a crap in the toilet. Let me just do my daily things. You know what I
That's
mean? Like,
that's the best like allocation of time. Like seriously, because like if you think about it, like time is the
yeah,
most valuable asset to me at least, right? Because
yep.
like I've actually firsthand have really that hits home to me because like I've had to help like kind of take care of my mom the past 3 years, and I had to give up a lot of time for that. And
Yes.
it's like now I just like I want my time, but being on the toilet is the perfect time to do stuff that you guys are trying to risk your time away for stuff. So
Just like Yazir said it right here. He goes, seems like it. I'm doing the same, multiple swaps a day. That is probably going to get you potentially thousands and thousands of dollars. Like by you making that decision and taking that little bit of time out your day to do those swaps could
on the
potentially earn
toilet.
you on the toilet or if you're at the like for me it's like my kids like to be in the playground. I'm not gonna they're old,
Yeah,
they're like 7 and 9, so they just run. I don't got to be there to like make sure they don't fall. If they fall, they get up, they do it again. I can sit on my phone and do a few swaps. You know what I mean? There's not much I can do, or read
yeah.
read articles and stuff like that. So there's definitely time out the day for you guys to do this. There's really no excuse not to if you and then I say that, but I'm also someone who hasn't done this. So
Yep, yep, yep. All
yeah,
right.
okay. Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna get into the Q&A here in a second. We just got one more. We have this topic doubling the initial airdrop allocation. Were they only
Yeah, so
doing 10% first?
yeah, they were doing 10%, now they're doing 20. And
Okay, so
so people don't know is everyone thinks that the Unisat, I'm sorry, the Uniswap airdrop back in this DeFi summer of 2020 was like this huge thing, right? No, it was only like 15% of the supply. And I don't think people realize Merlin's given up like 35%, 20% to stakers and 15% to users of the chain, right? And then Merlin Swap is doing 20%. Like we're destroying those numbers of units. We're gonna have some people who are gonna be very, very happy in 6 to 8 months. And if you guys sell your airdrops, I will be there with a bucket and just catch me. So
that's
those
mine.
are the
That's mine.
thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. But that's like we talk about like how like I can't hold stuff. That's the stuff that I can hold. That's the stuff where I'm like, these are investments, not trades.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I think that's a good point. I mean, because the Merle token is very similar to the Arbitrum token, right? To where it's like a
Yes.
governance type token. And imagine if Arbitrum launched in the bull market or heading into the bull market rather than pretty much like in the like little bit past the middle of the bear market is when it launched. You know what I mean? So it was like horrible timing, but like it still did well because it was Arbitrum, right? Like it had the name, and I think that's yeah. So this is gonna be interesting, man. There's a lot of stuff happening with that chain and a lot of high expectations, but I think the person behind the wheel is the right person to meet those expectations. But
100%.
we'll kind of see what happens with that. All right, last topic before we get into some really good Q&A. Maybe we'll hit on some pricing before that, but we'll show this last here. Uni Worlds, another obstacle for bitmap to destroy. I don't like how you wrote that. I'm a bitmap holder.
No, but that's the thing. I think no. I think you're hearing it wrong. Uniworlds.
I know you're saying that.
I
know you're saying. I know you're saying bitmap's going to destroy it, but it's like another thing that's trying to challenge it. And
good.
You
Quad
know,
keys. You know, it's kind of like that meme, right? With the
please don't say that name again.
Quad keys. It's like the friggin' CB Spears is going to pop up.
It's like Bloody Mary, yeah. Bloody Mary. Well, going to the bathroom, say it 3 times, and Charlie Spears pops up.
We love Charlie. Charlie's a really good friend of ours.
We love him.
Charlie's a great guy, but it's just funny. So I think it's that meme with the the skeleton and the one door is all bloody. It's like quad keys, and then it's like whatever else it was, and this next door is Uniworlds.
Oh yeah,
I think
yeah. I got you.
Destroys it. You know what I mean?
I didn't know where you're going with that, but yeah, I got you.
It's very centralized as Uniworlds will be. Like I know Block's very bullish on this, and he's right a lot of the times, but I think he's going to be wrong on this one, just like he was on quad keys. And I think bitmaps will destroy this, just like it destroyed everything else.
I mean, I love Block like a brother, man, and we talk every day, like in our chat and stuff, but he's gotta let that thing that happened with bitmaps go. I feel like it's definitely deep in the heart of Block, where he's just kind of like, but no, I mean, I'm just joking. I know he's let it go, but it's funny because like every time there's like a metaverse play, he's like, this is it, this is gonna replace it. But
but he like, you gotta remember too is like Jeff's name on Twitter, right? What's Jeff's name on Twitter?
Bitmap.tech or Bitmap
exactly. Tech. My point, like my point right there. And Bitmap's going to get tokenized. It's going to be on OKX. It's going to be on Binance. It's going to be all over the place. You're going to be able to buy tokenized bitmaps, and you're going to be able to, play with the value on centralized exchanges. It's also going to be probably the token for the metaverse over there, which is actually awesome because what's better to play with, than the actual tokenized version of it on a bitmap, right? So I don't know. I'm still very bullish on bitmaps. I'm team bitmaps. Anything else type of metaverse that's not building on bitmaps will eventually die off. I truly believe that. I don't care if Unisat is behind it or not. Unisat has a pretty bad track record at this point. They haven't really brought anything to market that's actually been successful besides their original marketplace, right? Exchange, marketplace, whatever.
Yeah,
but it's not an exchange. It's a marketplace. I think that's a difference.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah. But that's pretty much the only thing that we could call an exchange for a long time, right? For the 100%. Way we did it.
I agree. But now with Merlin Swap, we actually have dexes like Rothium Swap or Rothium Dex and Merlin Swap. We actually have physical dexes that we can use in the future.
Wow. So. Yeah. No. I mean, like that success that they had with the marketplace, the BRC20 marketplace was so strong. It was like the place to go for like everybody in the western part of the world, even Asia in the beginning, for the most part, and then until OKX came in and dominated that. But it was almost like that swap we were so excited about it and it just didn't play out. But I mean, let's see what this is about, let's see what it's about. Yeah. But I do kind of agree with you, that this seems to be like, it's weird that they just pivoted into this, but you can see here, it says Unisat, it says talk is on a roll. Join us to explore the innovative landscape of fractal Bitcoin. Okay. Interesting. So they're having a spaces here, but this is going to be Uniworlds and Lorenzo. So they're doing a lot of stuff together too, like the spaces and then like their partnership announcement. But what's really going to happen? We're thrilled to announce the official partnership with Unisat. A heartfelt thanks to Unisat for their steadfast support during our whirlwind of development in recent months. May Bitcoin's greatness endure. I will say this, though. I will say this. Besides the Uni World situation, let's just talk about Unisat for a second. I was listening to a Spaces, I think it was the Ordinal show with Leo and Trevor, and they had Domo and they had Layer One Foundation on there. I forgot the girl's name that's a part of Layer One Foundation. She was Casey's assistant initially. Anyways,
Yeah.
I'll remember it later. She was on there talking too because she's a part of the foundation, and Lorenzo was on there. And basically they were like, Unisat is definitely dedicated to the success of BRC20 still. I'll tell you that. They actually got them and Best in Slot to be the lead maintainers and managers of the, new rollouts and proposals of, for BRC20. And they acknowledge that Runes is a big deal. Like everybody knows that Runes is a big deal. They're waiting on it. But they also said that the way that BRC20 works and the way that Runes will work is going to be kind of like you can have them both in different use case ways, right? Also, BRC20 is like, as much as people hate that it's clunky and that by the raw bones of it's clunky and all this stuff is not flexible, the innovative like work and the progress that these companies have made with it to integrate it into like side chains and modular systems and stuff like that is pretty far advanced, is what they're saying. And so there's much more you can do with it today, way more that you can do with it today than you could last summer or even late, early fall.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
I'm definitely bullish on Unisat. Not so much on Uni Worlds, but Unisat. I mean, I'm just hoping they do everything they said they're going to do, and bring it to market faster than they have. They seem to be really struggling with the white module, and people are we know people who are stuck in there with some coins, and so that's the only reason why I'm kind of like down on them. But I think they have plenty of time to redeem themselves. So
yeah. For sure. All right, guys. If you're still with us, which you are, because I can see the numbers, we have 285 people watching live. We appreciate and love each and every one of you guys. Hang out with us because we're about to extend it a little bit to the Ordinal's After Hour.
Yeah, I think we need a song here in the future, like something like we pop in here, the After Hour or something. So
the After Hour, yeah.
Oh, you know what we could use? We could use this.
Ordinal Revolution. Let's go.
Welcome back to the After
Hour. Yeah, we've got to change up some of the words there. We'll do something cool for that. But yeah, we can jump right into the comments here and see if there's any questions. Let's see here. Mr. Yagobi. All right. So let's start with this one. Pratik Gupta. What are your thoughts and price prediction of Natcats? We'll start with Shizzy, which is obviously it's his favorite collection. So
I don't.
You gotta do it. Hey, life isn't easy all the time, bro. Sometimes you gotta,
Can I
you
lie?
gotta try to hit
Can I
that.
lie?
You get no. You can never lie on the show.
Is that the number one rule?
No.
Man.
Well, let's take a look at.
I'm gonna get killed if I give my.
Well, I mean, be cordial. I think you can be cordial. You can be a gentleman about it. But let's see here. So Natcats is number 8 in the daily, the 24-hour. It's at 0.067, which is 0.067, which is 4,522. So the high of this, I think it got to like 0.16, maybe is what I remember. 0.16. It could have got higher, which would be right at like almost. It's like 10,790, but right now it's at 0.06. And I think this is kind of a lower price point from whenever it was like really, really thriving. But so what's your breakdown? How do you view it? And where do you see it going in terms of price point? Because, hey, look, It just got added to the seal, right? So that's a big accomplishment. You have to admit that.
You're setting me up for failure here. I'm just gonna say I was gonna say it is going to go up against the dollar, but down against Bitcoin. That's all I'm gonna say.
So what are your thoughts and price prediction of the NatCat? Okay, so your price prediction is no price prediction. So you think like from a dollar standpoint, you're just saying that like Bitcoin's going to go to 100K eventually. So this thing's going to look good from a USD standpoint.
I can't do this. Yeah, it'll go up against USD. Yeah.
It'll go.
You kill me.
Go.
You kill me. You know.
Hey. Like I think this is a personal like journey of like self development for you, Shizzy. Like you gotta be like, okay, dear Lord, teach me how to be communicate in a way to where people aren't hating me for saying how I feel. Right. So
they are. If I talk crap on someone's bags, they want to hunt me down and cut my head off.
No. I think you could give an honest opinion without like saying it will never succeed. It will be a piece of crap. It will be a blah blah blah. Whenever I take a dump and I look down, I see gnat cats. You know what I'm saying? You can. There's a way to communicate it and be. I can show you. This is my honest opinion.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So for me, Nat Cats, it's the most popular in a non-arbitrary token art collection. And with that being said, I think that it's underperforming by quite a bit right now. Like especially against like how it performed let's say 2.5 weeks ago, right? It was definitely that the hype was there, it was going really strong, and it really lost a lot of momentum. Where do I see it in the next like 2 weeks? Price prediction, I could see it possibly getting back to like 0.1 at the best, in my opinion, but I really see it kind of maybe hanging around where it is now to like 0.08 in that range. This is completely throwing a dart at a dartboard. And this is going to be, this is also kind of big for like the whole non-arbitrary token ecosystem, because if NatCat doesn't start kind of picking up like how it was before, then some of the other projects could kind of have a lingering effect of that. But that's where I'm at. See how I did that?
Yeah. All right. So this is my honest opinion. You guys can hate me for it if you want, but honest opinion is this will be under $2,000 soon. I think this is a selling opportunity sitting here at this number because it's been down so much, and I think the only reason it's up is because it's been added to the seal. And I think if I'm a holder of this, I'm selling into this pump right now. I see this hitting. I think it's going to drop in half, easy. I think it'll be out of the top 12 really soon, and I think that because it's very oversaturated over there. They're coming out with new things every single day. It's just and everything's in the next thing. Nobody's doing airdrops for NAT holders. The community doesn't seem to be really that engaged in NAT cats anymore. They're always on the next thing. And from the outside looking in, it doesn't really feel like it's some project that's going to be in the top 12. I've never been bullish on it, and that could be why I'm not bullish on it today. So that's it.
I mean, dude, that was like, dude. I'm gonna give you a gold star, so send me your address.
Hell yeah, dude!
Send you a gold star. I feel like
it better be inscribed into Bitcoin.
I don't know about that. But yeah, so definitely, I think you did a great job in explaining how you felt exactly about it without, trying to.
Oh, here we go. I should have said this, dude. Oh, I messed up. Shizzy, tell Yagobi that I do not speak a word without the presence of my lawyer.
Got him. All right. Okay, so Danny has this is the next question. I was away for a second. I barely heard about seal and stones, but what about potential airdrops if we deposit them? Okay, so you missed kind of the tail end of that, or maybe you didn't, but heard it wrong. So I believe what Jeff is saying about the airdrops is like if your runestone is staked in the seal, once the protocol is launched and the token is actually launched and they airdrop them to the seal wallet, you will get the actual runes token that you were supposed to get. So that's isn't that kind of what you got from that?
Yeah. Who knows, right? So that's one thing amazing about runestones is there's no real team behind them, so anyone can actually be the team behind it. So you can have people just adopting it because they have a ton of them, and really airdropping things to users to kind of bump up the price and just be, or just kind of give back to the community as well. So
Yeah. And this is a follow up to that, by the way, and it's basically just saying, when they stake on Merlin Seal, the airdrops will be on our Unisat wallet on BTC chain, not in the Merlin chain L2. I'm confused, bro. Yeah, so it's going to be on the native BTC chain, but it's not going to be in your wallet. It's going to be on the MPC managing wallet, right? But once you they're going to distribute because they know which wallets put that runestone into the NPC managing wallet, and so you will be able to get your runestone token regardless. So hopefully that clears things up.
100%.
You want to go to the next? And you want to pick a next question, or
Sure.
I can keep grabbing them if you want me to. Don't worry.
If you see them before I do, that's fine. Oh, here you go. I heard minerals mentioned a few times. Discord has no engagement at all. What's the deal? So they don't have a Discord that's like really popping, but the Telegram is really strong. Join their Telegram. I'm in there all the time. It is a lot of alpha in there. Join that. But I can tell you, I am a tester for their site. It should be dropping really soon. It is absolutely amazing. You're able to stake your minerals to receive the MNER token. Then you'll receive, then you can stake your MNER token and receive Bitcoin from their mining system. And you'll also receive MNER tokens as a reward as well. The APIs, when it drops, are going to be very high. Get in day one if you can. I highly recommend you. I really like this phrase. I call it party by the door, which basically means when the cops come, you're the first one out, right? So if you're partying by the door, you're the first one out. So do not lock your stuff in for a year. Right, that's one of the options there. 180 days, maybe. Stick to the 30 days. Party by the door. When the cops come, you can be one of the first people out. That's just my
when the cops come, I
you
love
can be
that.
the first one out, and then I mean that by like when Bitcoin decides to take a 20% dip, 30% dip, you're able to potentially get out and sell your stuff faster than the person who's locked in for 180 days. These are some of the rules that I play by. I'm very DeFi oriented. So I know, and I've been hurt by this, where I locked something up for a whole year, and then when it finally unlocked, it was 90% down, right? So, and even all the rewards didn't make up for the amount I lost in that. So, party by the door. When the cops come, you're the first one out.
Yep. All right. Let's go here. Wendy Am. Love you guys. Appreciate you, Wendy. She's a member of ours. Definitely appreciate the support. What will be the purpose of Runestone? So Leonidas, came out and said this from the jump that Runestone has no utility. His whole goal is for it to be the largest and most valuable meme token in existence on the largest blockchain, right? So he seems highly motivated to make that a possibility. But if you're looking for Runestone to be a utility, there isn't one. It's going to be a very community style driven, and his goal is going to be able to drive, hopefully is to drive it to be the strongest meme coin. It is, on Bitcoin. So we'll see. What are your thoughts, Shizzy, on that?
Yeah, it's just a meme coin. That is why it's not one of my. That's why I didn't hold all mine. I have no interest in meme coins. It's just not a game I like to play. I'm very DeFi oriented. I always say it. So for me, I don't really want to hold this long term. I do want to play. So I will keep the 2 runestones that I have, lock them in the Merlin seal, so I can earn the Merl token. And get potential gains of it after launch. I do feel after launch it is going to skyrocket in price. Because then it's a token and no longer an ordinal. And I truly believe that it should do really well. But it is, again, it's just it's a trade for me. It's not an investment. And that's just kind of my stance on it.
Yeah. I mean, it's tricky, guys. Like, there's right now the market cap, like really quickly, the market cap just like blew past 100 million, and then 200, and I think what was the high? Do you remember what the market cap was for the high?
I don't really know. I know the high
pretty
was like
crazy.
3,100 or 3,600, something like that per.
Yeah. So you know, right now, like it's hard not to like let go of some of these at these prices, you know.
Yeah,
But I love. I mean, thank you, Leonidas, and thank you, Bitmap.tech, and all the you know, I think Boyance or something was like the largest donor at 8 Bitcoin. Man,
yeah,
that was awesome. You know, we appreciate all you guys, all of us OGs in the ordinal space. The big thank you, dude. Like some
yeah,
people got, if you got 5, 10, 15, you know, more thousands of dollars of free
yep,
airdrops, man. That's like, man, where else other than ordinals? And you don't understand it unless you've been here. That's the
yep.
biggest thing, man. Like,
Dude,
you know what I mean? So
I got $20,000 for free when I was selling yesterday. Like, it's insane. Where the hell can you do that at besides ordinals? Who the hell's giving you
well,
20K? I mean, obviously
if you're a
it was my own.
17-year-old kid that knows how to
Well, that's
game the
different.
system, then you give millions. So
But for me, someone who just I can't keep a lot of stuff in one wallet, right? It's not something I can do. I get jitter, like I have, I get jittery. I just can't. I need multiple wallets with multiple seed phrases. Seed phrases are scattered all over the entire city. You know what I mean? So I can find them when I need them. And it's like, for me, it's like I can't do it. But doing that got me, and you're in the same boat, got me multiple well, a lot of runestones. And then I was
yeah,
smart enough as well to, when they dipped down to about $1,000, to pick up a bunch there as well. So, and I told you
yeah,
guys my game plan from the beginning. I waited my hour. I started DCAing. I made a good amount of money for that. But again, that was just trading for me. It's just so easy. You buy an hour after the airdrop starts, and then you just reap the success. It's one of the easiest plays that I ever make.
yeah. No, I mean, definitely. And what's the top for runestones for you? What do you see the top for this before the token launch is released
Before the
or
token
airdrop?
launch, I see it around like point one, but I think point one by that point is going to be like 110,000. So that makes each one about 11,000 each.
Yeah, I remember like a target for me was like 0.125, right? And I remember like looking at the market cap at that price, and it was like 980 million dollars or 900 right close to around 990 million dollars, so right under 1 billion market cap, right?
Yeah,
And I was like, man, I don't see that happening. There's no the closest project that we had market cap wise to be closest to 1 billion was Node Monkeys, and I think it was at like 600 and something million, right?
yeah,
But Runestones is a bit different, you know. There's like more of like harmony, more unison of like the entire, you know, ecosystem and Bitcoin ordinals on board with it. So it could surpass it, right? But
yeah.
man, Node Monkeys, like someone did a pretty good swing trade probably yesterday, because I think I got to, what did it get to, 0.82 or something?
Yeah, yeah. What's it down to now?
0.73. So I mean,
Oh,
that it's not
I'm
it's
not
not that
bad. Yeah,
great. It's
yeah.
like 0.09. They, with fees, probably 0.8085, but still, yeah, they
The
probably
best
wouldn't
part
swing
of
trade it there.
the
Go
best
ahead.
part about that is no monkeys past Sport 8 Yacht Club.
Oh,
It
nice.
wasn't a long time, but for a minimum amount of time,
Oh yeah,
it was
yeah, yeah, for sure.
the number one ape in the building.
That is
So
true. That is true. Okay, so Sayin, another member, definitely a big community member, it says, "Do I remember correctly that staking on Seal ends late this month?" I don't think
yeah.
it ends, but you have the ability to pull out. So I think it, like, don't you have the ability to stay in or
No,
no?
well, once the TGE for the Merle token happens,
It's over.
then it's over. There's no
Gotcha.
reason to keep staking unless Jeff
True.
says that you're going to continue getting rewards for staking, which is I haven't heard yet. Have you?
No, I haven't. I just imagine. So yeah, I guess it would be, well, I know that you can pull your, yeah, so it's kind of like, it's a little confusing. I know that you can
Yeah,
pull your stuff out in April, but you'll get the drop, is the initial plans, from what I remember correctly, if it's correct, is you'll get the drop in March.
yeah.
So like probably
Well,
like
that actually now got me thinking, because Jeff's not going to want the TVL to drop to zero, right? Everyone's pulling their stuff
Well,
out. So he might put an
that's why it stays.
APY.
Yeah, possibly.
He might put an
Or just
APY on the
release them.
seal.
If you release the synthetics, like then the TBL, like a big chunk of that will stay in regardless because people want a degen.
How
You know what I
amazing
mean?
would that be if you're just holding the assets on Merlin and you're getting an APY just for holding them there, just for them sitting in your wallet over there?
And they're all like solid because they were like hand selected. They're not just
Yeah.
like, oh, every
Crap.
Bitcoin, layer one
Yeah.
asset can come over here. You know what I mean? So,
dude, we're gonna make so much gains on Merlin. People that are fading it, like decentralize over on the OSD, or fading Merlin, are making a huge mistake. But
all right, so this is one that I'll let you answer.
ooh, yeah. So if you guys do not know, we are an advisors on the Verothium Mines project, which we advise to become the Verothium Dex. So Verothium Dex will be a Uniswap V2, which means you're able to do things that you can't do on Merlin Swap, which is a V1. So
No, V3.
I'm sorry, V3. So yeah, so we're just helping those guys out. We really like the founder, and the CEO is going to be actually announced in a little bit. So look out for that. That is huge for this project. When we found out about that, we were so bullish.
Oops.
What are you doing? What was that? What was that?
A little something. A little something. A little something. Yeah.
You gonna show something else? You gonna show that?
Oh
no. You didn't have F11 that.
Oh yeah, that's right. I didn't.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Because we're live.
Anyways,
we can do about it.
I'm getting a call from corporate. No,
we are fired again.
Yeah.
How'd you get fired on your day off?
Man, yeah, that's right. Friday. Okay, so are we bullish? Yes, we are. Very bullish. Just the team behind it. None of this financial advice. You guys know that. I hate that we have to say that, but we got to. But anyways, but just the progress, the people behind it. This head down builders, focused. Relationships, networks, everything is just like moving in the right direction. So
yeah, man. And I did see a question here. It was about the bit discs. He asked if sorry, I can't find you anymore.
I got it.
Cool. Have you guys discussed the bit disc before? Curious what your thoughts. I am in love with this project. I love BitSmiley. I love everything they're building. I am huge. I'm actually really deep in the BitSmileys. I have multiple sets of 5 staking on different wallets. And I just got word that I will be testing their thing, which I actually just heard that a little bit ago. So I potentially could be testing for them. I just kind of said, hey, it would be really cool if you guys let me test your site for Ordinal Revolution, and they obliged. So we'll potentially have some inside stuff for you guys with that. So I'm very happy about that.
Yeah. I mean, stable token for Bitcoin, native layer is what their goal is, and they're going to be this, a big stable token player on Merlin too. Yeah, definitely bullish about them for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I think potentially I might have been one of the 100 wallets that got the testing as well, because I was very early with staking on my Smiley, so that's cool.
Yep. All right. From Hugh 1256, what do you think will happen to R6 after will they still have value?
No, so R6 will go to 0, the Ordinal, but the token that you receive will have more value than that Ordinal ever had, in my opinion. So, right?
Yeah. I think that it's going to be interesting. This is a good question.
It is.
Because like, will they be looked at as a collectible? I think so, but like, I just don't see them holding too. I mean, who knows, right? Like, maybe there is someone that's like people that want to hold on to these. The R6 like mechanism was really, really cool. I'll say that. Like the way that they rolled it out, and how it continuously like mined, the tokens, and you could have more rare ones than not rare, and those values went up. But I think from an overall general perspective, I think that like a lot of these pre-runes mining ordinals don't hold their value. Special ones like Runestones was a major event, so that it might. We're just gonna have to really see, right? That's just my opinion. I could be completely wrong. There could be a collector's market for this, but a couple of people have brought to my attention, hey, look, we're not in the collector's part of the cycle. That's way down the line to where like you're talking about we're in IDO season, people are trying to get their allocations in. And then after that is DeFi, whenever the actual products roll out and they're released and working. And then after that is really kind of whenever the NFTs and the digital artifacts and stuff start. Exactly. The collectors are like here. They have the extra money. They can throw things around and they want to hold on to certain stuff. So
yep, dude, you're dead on about your analysis with that. It's like perfect. But yeah.
So I think that's the last question, man. We went through quite a bit of them. Sorry if we missed any. We couldn't get to all of them, but we'll try our best to do that.
Yeah, and tune in tomorrow. We'll do another Q&A. Yagobi won't be with us tomorrow, but we'll have a special guest. IMSO Chris will be joining us. It's gonna be weird doing a show without you. It's gonna be very weird. But
hey, Chris is a TA expert, so maybe he'll get into that. And there's a lot of stuff that they're building over there, so I think it'll be cool because
I could just be like go, and then I can try to get up, take my kids to school, and come back and have a sandwich, and then I'll be ready to talk.
You'll be like, all right, tell everybody the history of crypto. Go, and then just leave.
See you guys. Go play some baccarat.
Yeah,
I don't even know what that is. Today's been fun, guys. We hope you guys enjoyed yourself as much as I did. If this has become successful, we really want to do this every single day. So if you guys tune in every single day,
we will be successful, and we are doing it every single day.
But it depends on you guys. If you guys show up, we'll keep it going.
They are showing up.
Then I'm just saying. But if you guys, I'm just saying, just come.
We're doing it. We're doing it
either way. Okay, Yagobi wins. I wanted to say something like, if you don't show up, we're done. But Yagobi said we're gonna do it regardless. You show up or not. So, but that's the show, guys. Our shills for today. Go check out ordinalrevolution.com if you're going to the conferences for Bitcoin Magazine. We have a 20% off on the website. We also have a store. Check us out. We have some of the freshest ordinals clothes in the business. Check us out, ordinalrevolution.com. Hit the store. Check all that out, and we'll see you guys. And if you're not a member, become a member. We drop alpha member videos throughout the week. We're gonna have another one in a couple days, or if not tomorrow. So check that out. And if you can actually, when you join, you can go back and watch the member videos from way far. And if you see some of those, you're like, damn, if these guys listen to these guys, they're making a lot of money. And that could be you, if you're a member, not financial advice. It's just what we are doing personally. And that's the show.
Peace.
Ordinal Revolution. Let's go.